The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is currently a couple minutes after 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I'm glad to know you're locked on to the true nation station, WACK
90.1 FM, where we are culture crazy. That's what you was going for?
Yeah.
Well, it worked.
Right. I'm not watching here. Let me put on my hat. I get to go by the barber this weekend. And my bald spot showing all kind of things. So.
I'm going to say a bald spot, you know. Oh, yes, Aaron.
Right, let's kick it off as we always do. Must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, must say thank you to the man, Tony Prescott, for the past 3 hours of radio, doing it in his own style like only he could do. And the P this week stands for?
Presentation, dog. Or presentation, as the case may be. The presentation is because this week is about customer service, you know, but the presentation is about, you know, the old alma mater, but also SE results came out.
Yeah, congratulations to all those children who passed the exam.
Correct
For
is
me,
right.
we need to stop this prestige school, and that needs to stop.
Correct is right.
Congratulations to everyone who passed the exam.
Congratulations. And for those who didn't pass it, well then, you know what? Chin up, go back
Next
at
year
it.
we're going at it.
Opportunity to improve.
Right. Really quickly, you know what we do? This is yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I'm always great and I am never late. Well, they tell Kenny that now.
Who your godfather?
Go ahead. Man,
and I'm Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage and the local stage. Well, I can't say the guest who never left anymore.
Yeah,
I get banned from saying that.
Too much time passed.
Yeah.
Right? Really quickly, let's do the needful before we get down into the program. So this week, I have to hang my hat.
Right.
Right? I'm going to hang my hat this week by passing on congratulations to national cyclists Nicholas Paul and Akil Campbell for capturing gold medals in the 2021 International Cycling Union, the UCI, Tissot Track Cycling Nations Cup in Colombia. Nicholas Paul won gold in the men's carrying and the men's 1 kilometer time trial, and Akil Campbell won gold in the men's elimination race.
That's good news, man. That is great news. Congratulations to him. To them, I want to wipe my feet this week on our. It's never really I wipe your foot, because it's funny, but it's sad too. We have a population that makes light of everything. They find a way to make light of everything. I want to heavy down the thing. I just want to say that, listen, we laugh at matters of national interest. We laugh at matters of national security. We make memes out of everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago, I understand this is our coping mechanism and a part of our culture, but I just want to ask that, can we possibly take something seriously? I see people laughing at the fact that a treat, a snack in the parlor was $1 last week and it's $1.50 this week. It is a cake, a little cake.
Hey. I had to jump in here. I am a man passionate about this because that is one of my favorite snacks.
Right.
I ain't get a kiss in a while. So all you don't play with my kiss. You understand?
What it is. All right, the thing gonna by 50%. Right? Is a snack that close to plenty people's heart. But here what is going on too. Budget coming up, you know. What I'm saying is if we reel in over this, All I'm saying is buckle up, hold on.
I could add to the wipe your feet.
Of course, Aaron, this is not my program. This is our program. This is the public's program.
And as you mentioned, us taking light of a lot of situations. Guys, a quote is just a piece of the paragraph, or even better, a piece of the book. A short video that you share on social media is just a piece of the entire interview. And this is me buffing all here because I irate.
Ooh,
I had to bring this back. Earlier, don't comment on something that you have no context on. Context is more important than comment. That is all I will say. I'm done for the night.
I feel feet have been properly whipped.
That's not a word.
Wiping.
I say I'm done for the night. Sorry.
Yeah. Nah, but right now, let me put it this way. What I'm saying is we have all coping mechanisms, right? But plenty time too, we engage a lot of rab. One, for no reason, and two, without knowing what it is we talking about. So we do have to jump on everything. Now every car pass, you have to back and chase. And hey, you too.
Tell my dog that now.
Oh, so you claim your dog now?
Tell the neighbor dog that now.
You claim your dog now?
Yeah, tell the neighbor dog that now.
Yeah, right. And let me put it this way, it's not every car pass you have to back at, and it's not every dog bark you have to slow down for. Alright?
Yeah, so
come on, man.
Let me introduce the guest now. Really quick.
Well, listen, you're going on.
I think she's in the waiting room already.
Well, the living room have a waiting room. You see, we get fancy.
It's a mezzanine.
I hope you pronounce that right because I'm gonna Google it as we come off the air. But listen,
I Googled it, didn't know why you're reading, so I could say it after.
Sarah Abraham is a true inspiration in terms of she's an entrepreneur. Right, she's whether she claims it or not, she's a community activist. She's been very vocal on social media about a number of matters over the past year and a half, 2 years. She's developed quite an online following with the Bacchanalist Cow and most recently known as Dead Moo. Here what I'm telling you, right? She has shown us what customer service feels like, not just looks like, but feels like, because both Aaron and I are patrons of the Printry Purple Cow. And on that note, I'd like to welcome into the living room Sarah Abraham.
Mezzanine. It's spelled Mezzanine.
All right, well then, for out of the mezzanine into the living room.
Yeah, I don't know if it's pronounced the Nine.
Open the door now, man.
Ricardo, we really needed to bring someone in to have this discussion. And you picked an excellent guest.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this about me, Aaron, but I'm an excellent guest picker.
And after last week, we needed to bring some beauty into the living room. And not just her beautiful look, but her beautiful soul.
Great, because now we have two beautiful souls in the living room. And not
mine and Sarah's, yeah.
That's how it's going. So, listen, here's what, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this thing properly, right? I want to make sure first and foremost I get your name right. Are you Sarah with a H, Sarah without a H? How do you roll?
Sarah without an H.
Sarah no H.
No H.
Excellent stuff, because I called Aaron Arun for a year and a half. Seriously. And then Aaron.
Aaron, right. So the Aaron sticks.
Yeah.
The Aaron definitely sticks once you know that sketch.
Yeah. So welcome to the living room.
Thank you.
Listen, I'm plain talk, full transparency. I am horribly biased, right?
Yeah.
I started doing printing with you guys with Purple Cow a while back.
Correct.
It was when in my early days experimenting with graphics, and you were so gracious in your recommendations that it is only in hindsight I realized that there were critiques and corrections, but you managed to present that information without breaking my spirit. And now, fast forward a couple of years, I'm marginally better than then, but I'm still trying. So thank you for that and for being that person.
You're most welcome. We need people to do that.
You see what Aaron doing with the marginal? That is not. you know what, Aaron?
Everything you tell, I can't get into that romance.
Aaron, you stand to learn a thing or two about customer service and delivery and so on and so forth from Sarah.
Without an age.
Without an age. Yeah.
But I'm certain he knows a thing or two because Aaron has been with Purple Cow for a while. Aaron, you came into the old office? Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was at the old office from 2013 before it was Purple Cow. I was actually in that old office 2012 before I left. And yeah, I remember Aaron used to duck in for different things.
Yeah. So I know Aaron could vouch for, as I say, sometimes when we were going into the radio station, Aaron would be like, yeah, I had to pick up a package, making it sound all, secret squirrel. And then we would just pull up by Purple Cow, and I'm like, hey, don't make joke. I want to come out too.
Yeah, because I think you came. Did you come separately to Aaron, and then you all came together or something like that? And then I was like, hey, y'all know each other.
Yeah.
Like I as you said, for transparency reasons, when I did my rebranding in 2020, I think it was, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah was responsible for my first set of printed merchandise with the new logos.
Great stuff, of which I have a few of them around somewhere.
Which I was so happy for him to go pink. I was like, yes.
And I remember I didn't get any of those.
Color.
Yeah, I was like, please tell me. When he ordered pink, I was like, please tell me this is for you. And he's like, yes, it is. I was like, score.
Pink is my favorite color. There's no hiding there.
Yeah, you just, but certain people could really rock a pink.
See what I'm talking about? This level of, I don't want to use the M word. I'm not going to call it mama guy. Wait, what you thought it was, Aaron?
I have a fear for M words, but you go ahead now.
Listen, the skepticism that you just direct in that single glance. But anyway, but Sarah, this is what we're talking about. This is not how you are dealing with us because you know us. This is not how you're dealing with us because this is going to be on the radio and this is, on your live. This is who people meet when they walk into Purple Cow.
Oh, correct. And I'll put out a disclaimer one time because I realized I started doing that recently, especially as I go in life. I don't claim to know all. We're human and we're still in the learning process. And we're human and things do happen. There are times that you'll cross somebody or even come into the shop and I might be a little bit busy and I have the deadpan screwpan face. It happens. I used to get from since I was in high school. Girl, smile now, but if I walk down there by myself and I'm smiling to myself, smiling going down there, it go crazy, right? So there are the times that I'll come, but there are times with people, like I would say, like even with y'all, when y'all bring energy and I feed off of your energy too, you just get back good energy, So that's the disclaimer there. Not every day is going to be happy-go-lucky, bubbly, but it is actually very intentional for us to create that experience for customers, as well as the fact of, yes, I do signs and yes, we do graphics, but we're into advertising. And we want people to understand that we're into advertising. And advertising agencies tend to have the feeling of stushness, of I don't belong here. And we want to be able to offer the agency experience to micro and small businesses as well. So one of the ways that we're able to do that is by just simply being kind.
Yeah.
That's it. Lead with kindness. And if I am kind to you, there are a lot of people come in and they're like, I want to get a sign. Okay, where? I don't know. What size? I don't know. And now starting up and I don't know what to do. You could help me, please. And I even try to drill it into staff that, yes, we might be very busy and yes, we have a bunch of things and maybe the customer may ask questions that in your head might be common sense questions, but these people really don't know. And it is not necessarily our job. You're not paying me to do this, but nobody else is going to. And if we take it upon ourselves just to be human, what is essentially what we need to be as humans. And guide the customer to what it is that they really need, ask the necessary questions, and teach them as well, show them the differences between certain things, then it just makes the user experience a whole lot better. And you know what happens at the end of it? They say, so why the people down the road didn't tell me that? I don't know. And that happens. You'll go to other places and you will just get this without an explanation as to why. But the easiest thing to do, you're explaining it to them, not to make it sound all fancy about I know this and I know that. It's just because you're being nice and it's the good thing to do. It's essentially that simple.
Everybody knows a couple of things about me from listening to these shows, right? And one of the main things is that I have a lot of, when I tell you strange ideas, strange ideas. And when it comes to printing my stuff, was that Ricardo?
No. I was nodding in agreement and support. I was not whispering very strange. I was not doing that. I was nodding and whispering supportively.
I was waiting for you to continue.
Thank you. When it comes to me printing my merchandise and stuff and my logo and things, I have some weird requests sometimes. And when I would go to Purple Cow, Sarah would stand. I can't even say sit me down. She would stand me there and explain to me, no, we can't do it this way. We had to do it this way. Or we had to do it this way. And explain to me why my weird idea would look better in this direction or with this line and or border around it. And as she said, that's genuinely how Purple Cow is.
Yeah.
I feel like part of the hood.
Yes, and that's what we want you to feel at the end of the day. We call, I don't know if sometimes you would see my greeting when I say good morning, Purple Cows. Once you are a customer, you become part of the herd. And is that a moo mug?
That is a moo mug. I've never had the milk.
Purple Cow mug. Hello.
I've never had the milk, but it was the closest thing I had.
We need to get you a Purple Cow mug. But we want everybody to feel like part of the hood. And it's not just a customer service thing. Like I'm still finishing my degree in Costa. I've been trudging along since 2009. I was part of the first class, yes. I was part of the first class when they brought out their degree. I'm first class. Like X-Men first class, I'm first class. But a series of things over the years of, constantly working, so you're doing this part-time. And you know how studying part-time is. Dropping out of school for a while because it's like, does this even make sense? Picking back up issues with gate back and forth. And then from 2016, I was like, you know what, let me finish the degree because I was just going to do associates and that. They actually offer lots of business courses, and I did a sales course last semester because in my head, I'm like, I suck at sales. I am not the one who could sell ice at Eskimo. You know, it has some people who they just naturally have that. Really? Wow, I can't. I really can't. At least I think to myself that I can't do that, right? But in going through the course, it really and truly solidified a lot of things that I had been doing already. And it is about, again, meeting the customer needs, listening to the client, building a relationship, all the things that we do at Purple Cow. Nobody teach me this, but I recognized that from where I was working before, some of those things were missing. And when I went out on my own, I was like, I have only 1 point of experience when it comes to this industry, because not like I worked several places within the industry. It was one, and then I left, and then eventually I went out on my own. And that point of reference was kind of horrible in a sense, but the good thing about it taught me what I didn't want.
Yeah,
it definitely, that experience was definitely trial by fire, and I saw a lot of what I don't want to be in business, and seeing, even interacting over those years with people, with big business people and people who have money, and the way how they will treat other people just because they have money, or they feel that business needs to be this way. Now, there is a ruthlessness in business, don't get me wrong, something that I'm battling with, because you need to have a level of ruthlessness in business. You need to be able to be very persistent to try to get your way, to do and open doors, etc. I battle with that in my spirit. But I always say there is a better way. And I lead Purple Cow with there is a better way. And just having that the knowledge of, look, I was doing it all the time. It's all about common sense. What common sense already, so come on.
That is the point self. That is why we had to bring experts on customer service, because your reputation, literally, as far as legends of in Trinidad and Tobago, I believe that there's a point in time you're going to get a national award for your work in customer service in Trinidad and Tobago. I've met so many people who didn't know that I already knew you, and the recommendations that they gave, when in terms of whether it was as a designer, whether it was printing, whether it was just for being polite. I found out that my 83 this is airing the day before his birthday, God willing. My turning 84-year-old father, Mitch, comes to you to print some of his weird ideas. Yeah. And I found out after I'd done stuff.
He's a great man because he has weird ideas. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought you was going to say he's a great man because he has a weird son. So you know what, Aaron? Thank you for not going down that road.
But
and thank you for that.
You so eloquently explained it.
And I appreciate you not being the one to do so. Thank you very much. You had an opportunity there and you didn't take it. I respect you for that, bro.
You're most welcome.
You do expect the same. I just letting you know. Anyway, and my dad, he was like, I went by this young girl and she organized my printing for me and she told me how to line up the thing nice and she treat me real good and she was always giving me her best price and she do I was getting my thing fast, and I'm thinking to myself, but wait now. I know this young lady who has go by for printing and she just helped me line up my stuff real good and she's always giving me her best price too. He was like, some pink something or some purple something. I was like, well, look at that.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about, I'd gone to Purple Cow. I told someone I went to Purple Cow and it was like, oh my gosh, yeah, Sarah's still there, right? It's like, yeah, she's a boss and she's such a sweetheart. I went to school with her and da-da-da-da-da. And every single report I've gotten has been about your personality and also how that translated into your customer service. I mean, you are doing things, Aaron actually had a real good question earlier and it's only fair that we pitch it, but based on the way that you deal with your business and your customers, your clientele, your vendors, etc. This whole adage about the customer is always right. Yeah, what was you think that's the type of thing that owners should preach to the staff, or you think there are limitations? What's your feeling on that sentiment?
The feeling on that sentiment I cannot say on air because it have no beep for whatever it is I want to see. That's how strongly I feel about it.
Beep.
In essence, it's the worst possible thing to say that the customer is always right, because the customer does be wrong. And people in business know this. But the thing is, as like with marketing, you need to obviously listen to your customers.
Beep.
You need to give your customers the space to express themselves as well. Allow them to say, especially if it is that they are, let's go on the customer who has a grievance. They need to air it. You need to allow them to feel too that we empathize with them, even though we know they're wrong. Right? And try your best not to blame them, but to show them, all right, here's what has happened and here how kind of like we could rectify it. I feel like I answer the next question down the line. But that's just the extreme. And where the customer, at the end of the day, you need to seek your interest for your business. So while you want to please your customer, you can't bend over backwards all the time to please your customer, because what would end up happening if the customer is always right? Well, then I wouldn't have business, because a customer will definitely want to beat me down to zero and get a sign for free, or get graphics for free, or get a logo for free, or get we already do consultations free in our sense, but get this whole wastage of time that I could be doing something else. They will get you straight down to zero. And is to be able to kind of balance that. So you listen to what your customer has to say. If something you don't agree with, politely find a way to be like, well, you know what, I don't agree with this. However, this is what we do. And probably same with the explanations that we would usually do. Explain why you do it and let them understand too from your perspective.
Beep.
Aaron has been beeping for 3 minutes. Aaron, we seem to have touched a nerve. We touch a nerve here. You want to tell us what this beeping is about?
No, well, Sarah said that we would not have the sound effects of the beep for something she wanted to say. So I was trying my best to insert sound effects.
Nah, that was the expletive. Oh, you was doing expletives.
Yeah.
Aaron has been beeping out words like wrong, explanation, customer, kind of erratic beeping.
That's okay. That's okay. He felt the beeps very, very, very.
No, but really and truly, in the couple of marketing courses which I did at Costat as well, this was a heavy point of debate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I felt like this question needed to be asked tonight.
By chance, let me put up in there. By chance, you had Janelle?
No.
Oh, damn. You missed out.
Right? And I would always say in my numerous debates in class that the customer is not always right.
Mm-hmm.
And not just because of the explanation you just gave, but purely based on the fact that if you come to me for the service, you are coming to me for me to give advice on how this is going to get done, or how are we going to work together to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the matter that the customer is always right or the business owner is always right.
Mm-hmm.
It's what is right for the situation.
Correct. And this is where, in terms of service and sales, it's not a one-way street. It is a conversation. The best salespeople, the best service is a conversation. At the end of the day, it is, keyword serve. I'm helping you. And I'm not just buy my product, buy my this, buy my that. I'm not gonna blast you all the time, which is definitely what sets Purple Cow apart. Because if you see us online, I'm not blasting you all with stuff. I'm trying to serve you. And the only way I could serve you properly is to listen. So if I listen to what you have to say, because for all you know, I have what I know is the better option for you, is the better long-term option for you. Might sound a little more heavy on your pockets, especially in these times. And there are some people who will just totally just give your dad the most expensive option and not listen to you at all. But the customer has needs as well. And for me to be able for us to find that middle ground, what will serve the customer best, have a conversation. You need to listen to your customer. And that's the only way that you'll know how to serve them.
I've heard you both mention institutions, right? And do you think that, based on some of the conflicts you all have had with the conversations that occurred in those institutions, do you think that customer service is the type of thing we should be teaching on an institutional level? We have a culture, and is it possible that the same people who teach in just going to propagate the culture of the customer service we have right now?
Customer service, you said the correct word, culture. So depending on, and remember, culture is broad. You're looking at, that's a definite heavy topic. You're looking at the culture of Trinidad on the whole. You're looking at what I posted in stories the other day, North versus South, is a totally different culture. I could go, let's say, deep South and get different service to what I would get in Sando itself, and things that I think in Sando is horrible. Somebody from North will be like, this is wonderful. And I tell you, the first time I said it on that live that I did, the first time I hear somebody from North was like, oh my God, South is so awesome. I looking at them like, you talking about the same South I talking about? Everybody in South so friendly and this and that and the other. And I'm like,
it's all
what you talking about?
It's
right?
about the perspective.
Exactly, but again, there's subcultures within culture. So there's a culture within, let's say there's a culture within Costat. There's a culture within, this one I know people don't get, there's a culture within nap skills. I know we're floating around about nap skills without organize everything, right? There's a culture within nap skills. There's a culture within Boys RC and St. Gabriel's Girls and all these schools that excel. There's a culture within Petrotrin. I'm calling things around Marabella, San Fernando area that I could think of, right? And then there's a so there's cultures within organizations, there's cultures within families, there's cultures within small geographic areas.
Yeah.
And each thing has to kind of fit the various culture. One will not work. My model may not work. Let's say Caribbean wide. My model mightn't even work in North. I might need to be a little more screw pan-ish in North, for all you know. I don't know.
I can tell you that, yes.
So it is difficult to have a institutionalized customer service, but it's not to say that it can't be done. Because I had the unfortunate bad review. It rarely comes, but when it comes, it is cut real deep because we try so hard to please everybody. And the day it happened, I rocked back. I saw it. I had a young trainee. That's not the word I'm looking for. Intern. He's just looking to get some experience before he start college. So unpaid intern, learning, picking up really well. I was in the back office and hearing him interact with the customer. Didn't sound, because sometimes I try to make sure and listen to hear how the interaction is, if I need to correct people as they go along after their experience, or if I need to step in to assist. Sounded pretty okay. So I didn't think anything of it until like a day later, this long message in my inbox about how she was displeased that the person in front didn't give her the information and blah, 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 blah. And now I am highly confused. And I took a day to process it and called up a friend who does business services, Mr. Charles from Oxysis Business Services. I worked with him on retainer for a year because I had him like, I want to make sure I get certain things right in the shop. So I kept him as retainer, and every week we'll meet and discuss certain things going forward. And I know service is not really a problem for us. But when I got that one bad review, I called him up one time and said, Jason, here's this. I need a session now.
All right.
And he's like, what? I was like, I don't care. I know I could deal with this. I need a session now because I need everybody to be on the same page. And I want to make sure that what we did was correct. So there is ways, because he was into hospitality and public relations and lots of different things. And he guided us through the session and even pinpoint some things where we may have fallen short. Not in this interaction, but in doing some role play, we may have fallen short. So it's not bad to have a class, but it's not a one size fits all. But just the general basic, how you deal with people, how you would deal with some things that come in to you. You could have a class, it needs to fit certain cultures.
I just want to take the opportunity to say happy belated birthday to Jason. I believe his birthday was last week. Yeah, just saying.
You know everybody.
I don't know everybody, but I'm close to the Charles family.
Well, look at that. It's all prim and proper about Mr. Jack. Yeah, Jason, but it was last week.
Yeah,
happy birthday. I did not message you when you were in the office yesterday, and I didn't tell you happy birthday.
Because you were saving it for the show. Remember we agreed on that now? That you would pick him up on the show, yeah.
Yeah.
Beep.
Yeah, that is beep.
Small plotty into some pepper sauce that tastes real good.
Yeah? That's what we're talking about.
So,
Sarah, the real cool thing about it is that you just in conversation, you're touching on the types of things that we would have asked like more pointedly. So this is great stuff, and you've given Aaron the beep, and I like it. I like it because I've always said it. Almost every chance I get, I say Aaron is such a beeping co-host that now that he's actually doing it,
yeah, literal beeping co-host.
I couldn't ask for anything more. This is my favorite episode. Season 3 is off to a start. I really appreciate it. Aaron,
that's a brownie applause. You got brownie points.
Beep.
Yeah, this customer service thing, it's tricky, and I like the fact that you acknowledge that there are different cultures and demographics too, and what would work for one wouldn't work for all.
You can't broad brush.
Yeah.
Definitely. So right now I'm reading a book. Is it Pour Your Heart Out, which is from the owner of Starbucks.
Okay.
And one of the things was in terms of the way how they deal with their customers, and the interaction with their customers has to be extremely specific. So they have to do intensive training specifically for them and what their culture was from since in the past, when it started off before he had bought over Starbucks, etc., etc. And there's a whole training process just geared specifically for Starbucks. So that's just to show you. And I loved reading it. I love reading it because it's like, reading this book is like, yay, I do this. I haven't had somebody to teach me. And like, I would love, I guess we're so accustomed to the institutionalized or the formalized way of doing something or learning, that now seeing it and coming back, it's like, I'm glad that I feel the same way. I feel very validated. So if a big company like Starbucks doing that and little me is like freaking out and pulling somebody, hey, I need some customer service training, hey, I'm glad I feel like I'm on the right track.
I want to go ahead, Aaron.
I honestly would never call Purple Cow. I love the tagline. I should start with this. I love the tagline, small company, big heart.
Little company, big heart.
Right? But I would never call Purple Cow a little company.
Go ahead.
Because of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You give a lot more than what a little company would give.
Hence the big heart.
And I wouldn't even say a big heart. Little company, big effort.
You know what? I want to kind of agree with Aaron. Don't record this part. And say
you recorded it. We don't cut anything out. We just go in the flow.
Yeah, but little company, big impact. Because the thing is, I think you've had a tangible and sometimes intangible impact on everybody who does business with you guys. And one of the reasons, as I say, I was like so excited about having this conversation with you is because you innately do things that other people would have to study to find out, or what you've learned in experience combined with your personality is the type of stuff that, listen, you could start dropping master classes on a weekend and doing seminars, and we as a nation would benefit from it. So I wanted people to get the idea that, listen, customer service is not about hiring somebody to reply to your emails. You know, it's not about sitting down for 6 hours every 3 months to make sure your staff deals with people properly. It's about curating a culture of performance and engagement. Everybody knows what bacchanal is.
It's necessary though. Oh God,
it is necessary. I ain't saying no.
Yeah.
I ain't saying no, but it's more.
Lying down next to me.
It's more than the technical. You know, it's more than the technical aspects of it. Yeah, what you're doing with social media, you stepping out in terms of supporting other small businesses and drawing attention to, again, almost an environmental or atmospheric change and expressing what these businesses going through.
As you brought that up, Ricardo, Sarah, tell us a bit about that project.
The Save Our Shop, our SOS campaign. So I had put it out that I think I did tag it on Bacchanal's page as well. Before, here he is. Right. Before we had formally reopened, because we're actually in that gray area as a business where we are media, but we don't fall under media. Because we are media, print media, right? We are manufacturing, but at the same time, we don't fall under manufacturing. We are essential, but we're not essential. We are like essential to essentials.
Right.
Because without us, essentials can't operate.
So you're like essential support then?
Yeah, we're like essential support, but they didn't put, like, especially last year, it was just kind of like really horrible because they are like, I had to go in, like, tell me why it is I can't be in my office that I paying rent for, which kind of come like my apartment. You telling me I can't be in my own office and run my own machine by myself?
Right.
Like, not making any sense. So there was this battle last year with especially loved ones, family, friends, of stay home. But I have customers who I had regional corporations that needed to get signs. I had businesses who, if they didn't get labels, they can't operate, and these are essential businesses.
Let me ask you directly here. If you're supposed to put up signage that tells people to stay a certain distance apart or stand here or use wash, how much Bristol board and marker people supposed to go
But
out and
people
buy?
will operate, well, that's the thing, people were operating, right? And it kind of pissed me off when everybody, well, one bigger company had said, you know what, we're operating behind closed doors. I was like, oh wait, nah, I could pretty much operate too. So that alone, being closed for almost 2 months solid, not being able, I have zero salary. Now you're behind on rent. That going to ripple into not only the 2 months that you were down, but even when coming back out, because not all industries were open at the time. It took another month and a half for almost the entire economy to open. And the only way that we could really make any money is if other businesses, because we are not just business to consumer, we are business to business mainly. So if all businesses closed, people can't get no money. So we're already reeling with the after effects of that. We're dealing with the zero carnival. And carnival, as much as it has not been bringing in a lot of work, let's say from bands, we have a different set of work coming in. So we have a lot of work from schools, we have work from the DJs, we have work from the trucks. So we have, and then we have those who go into feds. That whole chunk of money is now totally gone to lock us back down to another 3 months, which we tried our best to operate, but there's only so much I could do when I want to make sure that my staff is taken care of. And we had reached the point like 2 weeks before formal opening, where I looked at my both bank accounts and I needed people, not to say that I knew that once we open, we'd bounce back, but I needed, Aaron, you could beep me how much you want here, right? Because I'm probably going to mash some real corn right now. I needed people with secure jobs who get in money every single week. It doesn't matter at the end of the month, and their jobs super secure to know this is what is going on with small businesses. Or they want to bump polygon all the time and be like, stay at home and do this and do that. It wouldn't matter to you because you're probably working for some ministry or you're working in a place where you are permanent, and it doesn't matter if you work from home. If you don't have work this day, you are getting your salary. Thousands of people are on the breadline, and look at what it is doing to small businesses, me who trying to survive. So I straight out snapshot. Who crazy enough to do that? Snapshot my bank account from my phone, put it onto Facebook, and was like, this is the reality of what is going on. And I put it there for everybody to see. And people were shocked. And people actually started, me too. People are not seeing this, me too, which sparked the Save Our Shop campaign. In the Save Our Shop campaign, we tried to put out some products we wouldn't usually put out. So we started with stickers that you can buy for $10 to support and help offset costs, which is shop small, save small businesses. So it's save small business stickers. But there's so much other people out there. We know that we would open back and be semi-fine because businesses are open. Nail salons only now open. Hairdressers only now open. People lost their jobs. So the only way that we could give back is I am offering to small businesses who need the extra help 50 free stickers. Free. Sell it for $20 if you want. I don't care. This is the only way that we have material. We're able to give back. You go right ahead, and I have no money, no lie, to buy a hamper for anybody. I have no money to give somebody to be able to help them get back on their feet. I have material and we have time. And if this could help in any way, shape, or form, 50 stickers is yours. And that's my way of just contributing to where I don't even want to say San Fernando. I delivered for somebody from Arima.
Right.
She lost her job. She was doing mask sales gone down, and she wanted to actually support us. So she bought 2 stickers and I gave her 50 free.
There was no need to beat anything there, because that is the reality of the situation. And no matter how much, I for one can't say anything, because during this entire pandemic, my job, I haven't stopped working. So I, for one, can't say anything. But I will publicly admit today, what I tried my best to do was every month try to give a hamper. Or if a family was in need, I tried to help. Now, I'm not saying this for any kind of publicity, but each one has to help one. Because as much as, yes, this is a medical crisis, it is humanitarian as well.
Definitely.
And I don't think a lot of people are understanding that.
They are not. And that was where we were going with when the conversation started sparking online. We got to saying, if each person help another person whatever little way possible, we will gain momentum in terms of getting out. Any little thing helps, not just, oh, well, I'm sorry for you, are praying for you, which, I mean, prayers is fine. I'm not discounting prayers, but $5 extra is going to help somebody along the way. So if my nuts boy, like I keep saying it, you'll probably see it on our social. I absolutely love neighborhood munchies. Neighborhood munchies, when it comes to service, I've always had excellent service from Munchies. We depend on Munchies to get food in the shop from since way before lockdown. Like Munchies is my people's, right? And unfortunately, restaurants were open, but we're in such a dire position financially that I can't afford to purchase food. Because every little thing on top of that, I mean, NIS still want their money, BIR still want their money. And it's true. I mean, yes, they have amnesty right now and are happy, but you still have to pay them. You still have to pay them what you're in face. Them and going to say, well, we could give you a blight. Don't bother to pay nothing. Look at what's going on with having to everybody now rushing to see about property and making sure that they get evaluations done because they're scared to get the penalties, right? But that still has to do. So back to Munchies. I thought to myself that, again, in terms of getting the economy going, you need to spend money. Money needs to flow and people needs to love it. People don't understand that the only way for now, this isn't my simple understanding of it because people who have better degrees business-wise would be able to explain it. But the only way to stimulate it is to spend. Uncle Patos, God rest his soul, who probably rolling in his grave, notice. Spend, people. Go and spend. And every little spend, which is with Munchies, I was like, I made a decision, you know what? I'm going to buy food from Munchies because it's going to support the cafe that I'm buying from. It is going to support, even though I barely have money, it is going to support the workers at the cafe and it's going to support Munchies people themselves, their drivers, their staff, etc. And when they have money in their pocket now, it means that they could now go and spend, and that person where it goes could go and spend, and it goes along the lines.
You just hit a serious nerve for me, which I have been trying to explain to numerous persons in our society. And for nothing, they seem to understand that for people to make money, you had to spend money. I just don't know, but I want to
spend $5 self.
Buy that pack of nuts.
My nuts boy. I have a young boy that's passed with I don't know if he's passed on, you'll see him. He has a basket full of snacks. And his mom and him, they bake their own nuts and they package it. I don't need nuts that day, but he knows that I stop buying all the other snacks. I buy nuts. I could have 2 pack of his nuts self in the back waiting. And he reached by that door and I don't have to give him $5, but I will still give him $5. Because he in turn will take all that money and go buy wherever it is that he getting his wholesale goods and spend it there. And it will keep moving.
I know we running out of time, Ricardo. Right? But there's something I want to highlight before we start to wrap up the show. Recently, I wrote an article called The Economics of Events. Right? And I sent it to all the local newspapers for their editorial or whatever section is called it, letter to the editor. None of them published that letter. And that explained the intricacies of how money moves for something like an event. So far more and I didn't even go into detail about the food industry or the drinks industry. So that $5 that you're spending on the nuts, or the $10 you're spending on the bottle of water on the highway, possibly feeds a family. Don't just say, oh, he could go and get a job. No, don't say that. He's working. And he's working to feed his family. Help if you can.
I wanna like as graciously as possible do this. And thank you, Sarah, for pointing out to us that the essence of customer service comes from community service. It's about caring about the people that you're working with. It's about serving the community that you're working for. Customer service is an extension of community service. And I want to like really quickly ask you to do two things for me. One is answer this last question, but before that, could you give us your socials or contacts? How could people get in touch with this little company, big heart, this purple cow?
Big impact.
We can't change people and them thing here.
No, we changing it. We have that power.
That's what this man is I don't want to say despot, but anyway.
Before I give him my handles and stuff, I just want to go back to one thing that you had said in terms of everybody coming to us, because a lot of people don't know this. We don't advertise. We have never advertised really and truly until the last 2 years, because I make it my business to advertise for Christmas.
Right.
Well, conflict here, but I wouldn't say right. Yeah, right. But it was very strategic. So it's only within the last 2 years, really, and this being my third, probably, that I'm going to hit that particular advertising. But you said it correctly. All of my business, other than the banners you'll see outside, everything has come because of word of mouth. And the reason word of mouth is one of the most powerful tools in marketing. Word of mouth will make you or break you. And I hate the break. I hate people bad talking. I've heard it too much where I was working before. But when Aaron comes, let's say Aaron came to Purple Cow first, and Aaron had the most fantastic experience, was the first thing he went to do when Ricardo looking for somewhere to go, and Ricardo asked Aaron, hey, it have these people, so by so blah blah blah. And you tend to, and you know this from marketing, we tend to trust those in our circles first. And that is what has grown Purple Cow. So when it comes to, that's my final tidbit on that, when it comes to building relationships and customer service, make it so exceptional that people have to talk about.
Sarah, really quickly, how I feel Ricardo ended up by Purple Cow?
You!
Right.
Yeah, and you know what I feel, if I told her that you sent me, she would have jacked up the price. I just saying.
So Sarah, what are the social media handles?
We are on Facebook at Purple Cow Advertising. We are on Instagram, which is our more fun page, which is purplecow.tt. And this little dude has now taken over our profile with his own page. Yeah. And he has all the fun on social. He says all the nonsense on social. He steals my coffee all the time. Yes, you do. Yeah.
That is what I'm talking about.
So you could follow him. He is Bacchanalist Cow. He also has his own Instagram, mind you. _Bacchanalist_cow, I think. So you could go and follow him, or he just might follow you. Because
it's about the community. It's about, and you know, your online community is as much as informative as it is entertaining. I will not lie. It's reality is. And thank you for spending this time with us. But the last absolute closing point is, as a woman entrepreneur, right? How do you manage the tackle?
I don't understand what you mean by the tackle. You know, it's like a literal tackle.
Yeah, the tackle when, I mean, yeah, manage your business.
Sorry, no, like you're
I thought it was me alone. Huh? I had difficulty in understanding it too.
No, and here's, tell me exactly how much time I have so I could hit this out of the park. How much time I have?
Like 2 minutes.
All right. initially I thought the tackle meaning as a woman in the front line of business, how you deal with men.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily the girl, how you're going, the sweet talk. Especially because we do what we do, it's very difficult to deal with men because I will have a guy standing next to me and they'll completely ignore me.
Ooh.
So that was when you said the tackle. I was wondering if that is what you're talking about in terms of men do not take me on. So I had a friend in the shop recently. He came to collect something. So I let him in the back because he had something to assist me with pricing on something, right? So he came in the back to look at whatever. And as the customer came back, walked out in front by the counter. And this man sees the two of us, turns his head and is speaking to my partner. And my partner just stand up on his side like, and I'm talking to him and he looked at me and listened to me. And then he turned back to my partner and addressed my partner. And my partner was like, no, Dan. And keep pointing like that. So when you said it, when you put it in the email, I was like, that is what I thought you were talking about. But as a woman entrepreneur, the tackle, I miss it. When we were in the old shop, fellas, I used to put up stories about these interactions. Like you don't really get the tackle itself. I feel as though this might be a whole other thing to bring me back.
I know that's what I'm thinking.
I feel, yeah, we need to,
I was actually going to stop you and tell you what's going on, right?
And
you gotta come back for the Woman Entrepreneur series.
I need to come back for
I'm
the
not going to say,
woman.
I think we need to have Sarah and Patricia on.
Who's Patricia?
First Lady Entertainment.
See.
To talk about that tackle.
Mm-hmm. Because the interesting thing, in the old shop, Aaron, I used to get it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
In this shop, I don't. And fellas used to come real creative though. That was the interesting part. But now I feel as a woman, men are intimidated by us. That's why I say this conversation could go real fast.
Definitely. I am putting it down on the, what did I call it, on the cloud. I'm putting it down in the calendar. I'm putting it down on pen and paper that we are having you for the Woman Entrepreneur series.
I will it.
All right.
This song could go and be some bacana.
So thank you again, Sarah.
You're welcome.
For joining us inside the living room. As we wrap up tonight, we must let you know that Mr. Desmond is up next with the big band.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo, think about the song,
Correct, right.
This is yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I'm always great and I am never late. Reminding you that love is the currency, so spend the sum today.
And this is Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage and the local stage, thanking you for joining us in the living room. Remember, guys, the hourglass is opaque. We don't know how much time remains, so whatever you're doing, be good and stay safe. Sarah?
Be safe. Love you all.
What pick a song now?
Pick a song.
You had 45 minutes to think of this song and you still didn't get the answer.
Yeah, I really didn't think of this song that we want to close off with, So Sarah, do us a favor now. Is there any local song that you would recommend we close the program with?
I only have one. I don't know why it comes to mind. Maybe it's because it was the showdown with Casey and them.
Mm-hmm.
Roboman.
There we have it.
All right.
There we have it. All right, take it easy. And Mr. Desmond with the big band is up next.